Welcome back to Global News Morning. A pleasure to have you join us, and always a pleasure to be hanging out with our good friend Matt Lee. And we're talking rural versus city living, specifically septic tanks and wells, and what you should know. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you.
This is something maybe new people buying in the country need to know.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in the country, so we can kind of really go through it and talk about it. But it is definitely something that people, if you're going to buy in the country, you need to know about septics and wells and how to maintain them, and really to prevent damage. You want to be able to use the septic and kind of move forward. But it is a system that is in the ground and it is right there on the property. It is not something that's like a municipal service and it doesn't go away. So we want to see how do we use it and keep it in best condition as possible.
Right off the bat, inspections.
Yeah, so we want to make sure that you have it pumped probably, like I always say, if you have a family of 4, you would have it pumped probably every 3 to 5 years. And what they do is they have lids that they pull off, they pump it out, and they make sure that everything is working properly. So
this is just buried under the ground. Is it up to the homeowner to get it out, or will the septic content remover do the digging, pull that lid up?
So actually the regulation has changed because of exactly what you're talking about. Is actually they have risers now, and they're green round lids that go over top, so they're actually meant to be on the surface, and the reason they're green is so they blend in with the lawn. But you're actually supposed to put these risers above the tank lids so that it's easy access. So if something goes wrong in the winter, then you're not having to heat up the ground to dig it up.
Wow.
and go. So they did make a regulation that these are supposed to be installed when you dig them up the next time,
Okay.
which all of them should be done by now.
Okay.
When you get into the actual tank itself and the bed, the tank is now, they put in plastic tanks, and we have these tile beds, and basically you have this string of perforated pipes that go out into the lawn, and they are plastic. There is no heavy driving on this system. So
No weight on the lawn.
no, you want to make sure that the septic system is mapped out on your, you can get it from the Ministry of Health, and it will show you where it is on your lawn. But you do not want to be driving trucks. You do not want to be putting pools on that. And you really don't want to be planting trees near it because
the roots will get at it.
that's right. So trees roots will go to water, and basically they will wrap around and crush that pipe.
Wow.
These systems are expensive. I'm going to a range. It wouldn't surprise me if it was $40,000 to $50,000 to install septic.
Okay.
That is the prices that I have heard. It's going to depend if you need a pump. It's going to depend on how much soil you need brought in, but they can be expensive. So you want to make sure that first of all you have a reputable company. You want to make sure that you're getting them priced, and you want to make sure that it's good. So you want it all installed properly.
So from septics to wells now.
Yeah. So first of all, we want to make sure that the well is far enough away from the septic. We talk about contamination. We talk about there's a difference of regulation of a dug well distance and a drilled well distance. But basically, you want them 100 feet from each other, and you want to make sure that you're having the well tested. You're buying a house, you want to make sure you want to know what's in the water. We have these companies in town that will test for salt, sulfur, iron. If you want E. coli or a coliform test, you send that to the Ministry of Health. And also you want to know how much water that well is producing.
Right.
Kingston has areas that produce less water in certain areas than others. So we want to, we do see that dug wells are better in certain areas than drilled wells. And it's because they're a different type of system. A dug well system is a reservoir of water. So you're digging this massive hole in the ground and you're backfilling it with very large rocks, so the water sits around in that reservoir and then pours back into the tile. Then if you're drilling a well, you're going 100 feet, 150 feet, and you're actually tapping into veins. So
Interesting. I didn't know.
Yeah, so it's a different system. You want to make sure that, and then you want to know what they're producing. Mortgages require 3.5 gallons per minute for a certain length of time to get that mortgage, and if there's no other type of system, like a cistern or something in the house. So we want to make sure that all these pieces are part of, there's a bit to it. So you want to make sure you know what you're going into. So you just gotta do a bit of digging, and it does cost a bit of money, but it's worth it when you're buying a house.
And a lot of it is preventative measures, so you can enjoy that country living.
That's right.
Country living, not living. Living.
Living. That's right.
Okay, thank you so much, Matt Lee.
Real estate tips brought to you by Matt Lee of Royal LePage.